Good morning, gang. Happy Monday morning. Well, I guess we just got our proof that the Biden administration has nothing to do with the East Palestine train derailment. I mean, come on. He just landed in Ukraine. So obviously, the people in Ukraine are much more important than the people in East Palestine. And obviously, Joe has nothing to gain by visiting East Palestine. He's got to go over to Ukraine to make sure his 10% kickback is coming. No problem there. Probably meeting with Zelensky just so he can pick up that check when, hey, you're not spending too much money. You're saving some for the big guy, right? Piece of shit. Uh, yeah, so here we go. We've got both sides of the fence. It was over the weekend. Trump announced he was going to go to East Palestine. No sooner did he do that, within a couple of hours, that the Biden administration all of a sudden said, oh, and we're going to send people over there too to check it out. And oh, by the way, we're going to reverse our decision on FEMA. And now FEMA is going to help the people in East Palestine. Because to this administration, the people don't mean shit. It's just political. Okay, they're a vote. That's all it is. He doesn't care about you. If you think I'm kidding, wake up. All right, simple as that. So we got more information out of what's going on in Ohio over the weekend. We now have confirmed reports of acid rain falling. We now have visual evidence of the toxicity of the water, melting shoes, melting cars, or at least car parts, okay, not the whole car. We have indoor pets now dying. There's a lot more than the fish and the birds. We're now hearing stories of dogs and cats that have been kept in the house. But hey, the water's safe to drink, right? God, here's an idea. If it's so safe, I want EPA headquarters moved to East Palestine right away. I want all the congressmen and the Biden administration to set up shop in East Palestine for the next 6 months. Okay? And you get to work on all the services there. There is now talk that the area is so toxic that potentially they are going to evacuate a 20-mile radius of East Palestine for at least 6 months. Now, whether or not that ever comes to fruition, but that idea has now been floated around Washington as that's how they need to solve this. So please answer me this. If everything's so safe, why are you talking about an evacuation plan? Okay, this is what I'm saying. The two sides, what they say out of this side of the mouth isn't the same as what they say out of the other side of the mouth. And it just depends on what soundbite they want you to hear, depending on who they're talking to. Okay, if they're talking to the people, everything's good. If they're talking amongst each other, it's like, well, we need to do this. Okay, like I said the other day, everything's so safe, yet the EPA guys are out there in hazmat suits, right? If everything's so safe, they should be out there in bathing suits with, little inflatable ducks with them or something like that. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. But how's this going to affect all of us, let alone those that live there? Okay, I want to get into a couple of things. David Devine put up yesterday something along the lines of 75,000 farms are affected. Okay. Now, not only in that direct area, but all along the Ohio River and all along the Mississippi River. Okay. That's going to drastically affect food prices. This is what I was talking about the other day, where I said, where does your food come from? You might want to pay attention to that. Are the farmers going to say we can't grow here, or are they going to say, screw it, we're growing anyway? But let's talk about the people that are directly around there. The Amish, where are they going to go? Okay, I mean, it's not like they can pack up and just move to an apartment somewhere and set up shop. Okay, that's not how their lifestyle is. It doesn't work that way. So they're going to have to continue somehow. But now, what happens with all those people that leave East Palestine and the surrounding area? A lot of stories. You guys have probably seen a lot of clips. People saying, "I'm moving. I'm getting out of here." Whatever. Where are they going to go? Are I mean, are they going to Florida? Are they going to California? Are they going to Tennessee? What happens to property values in different places? The property values in East Palestine are going to go to next to nothing, okay? Guaranteed by the summer, you're going to see fire sales on properties there. The government or Norfolk Southern is going to come in and have to pay these people for their property. The property is going to be dirt cheap. And then, of course, the government will sell it off to Vanguard or sell it off to BlackRock, who will sit on the property for a couple of years till everybody totally forgets about this, and then they'll redevelop it and say, look, this is a brand new 15-minute city. Come move here. You can live in our new high-rise, and we're going to do all this sort of stuff while the ground underneath you is toxic. Okay. Well, we'll just cover it all with concrete. We'll make it a nice city, and it won't matter anymore. Could that be? Okay. Those people are going to have to move somewhere. Where are they going to go? How much money are they going to get out of Norfolk Southern to move somewhere, or the government to move somewhere? What's that going to do for property values? Are property values going to go up? Are they going to go down, depending on where you are? For me, I don't know, okay? I'm right on the edge, right on the line of where the toxic area is supposed to be because of the Ohio River, okay? It's supposed to be, literally, the lake is the edge. So I'm 3 blocks away from the edge of where the toxic area is. It's going to be interesting this summer to see if there's a fish kill in the lake here, okay? So we'll see what happens with that one. But all the ways that this is going to affect all of us. Corn, yeah, we got tons of corn that can't be planted or will be toxic. Great, what's that going to do? That'll be used to feed the cattle that go in the beef that you eat. Oh, joy. What are the chances that this was not only planned, because many of you have mentioned that the EPA had changed the guidelines for the toxicity of chemicals in the air by, what was it, 1,000-fold? I think it went from 100 parts per million was toxic, and they changed it to 100,000 parts per million that was toxic, and then 2 weeks later we have this train wreck. Okay, what was that? The smoking gun. Because what better an area if you're going to set up something to try to move people into a city, into a 15-minute, hey, move here, it's all concrete. You don't have to worry about poisoned soil, right? I'm just saying. But you look at this and you go, could this have been totally planned for a bigger idea? Hey, this is a perfect spot. We can wipe out the East Coast. We can wipe out the South. We can wipe out the Midwest. All with one, oops, it was a mistake. We don't have to worry about the Rocky Mountains. Not a whole lot of people there. And hey, California's utopia, so don't touch that. That's what we want everybody to be like, okay? We keep seeing all these eggplant fires and food processing fires, and then this one, and all the we'll just ignore it. It's really, really strange how, with all the hoopla that is going on with this whole, what is being called the worst environmental disaster in U.S. history, and being compared to the Exxon Valdez, okay? You don't get much worse than that. when they're calling it Little Chernobyl, you don't get much worse than that. Okay. But when the administration thinks, oh, the best idea right now, let's go to Ukraine. With everything that's going on, why? Ukraine should be the last of Joe's worries. He's supposed to be the United States president, not the Ukraine president. Okay? If Joe loves Ukraine so much, move there. Okay? You can, if that's so important, go there and stay. GTFO, my country. Okay? Tell you what, going to East Palestine would have been a whole lot cheaper. Probably not safer than going to Ukraine, but hey, who's ever considered Joe to be somebody that's worried about anybody else? Joe spent 50 years in politics worried about nobody but himself. The greatest thing that could possibly happen to Joe's trip in Ukraine, maybe if we have somebody in the CIA or something like that that happens to slip Putin the flight plan of the Air Force One coming home. We'll talk to you later. Pinball out.